Well, everybody, we're back. Another episode of the Heble Byers show. We've been away for a while, Carson, but I know we've got some interesting topics we're ready to jump into.
Yeah, we are. It's been kind of difficult. We wanted to do it every week, but it's ended up being pretty much once every 2 weeks we've been able to get together in the studio. Yep. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We're kind of into the stretch of basketball season here. It's almost March.
Mm-hmm.
Really exciting times.
Best time of the year.
It really is. March Madness.
Best time of the year.
It's the best sporting event.
Going into spring.
Absolutely.
Hopefully things start to warm up.
Hopefully.
Maybe I can catch a game.
We got snow going out here in Lindsburg right now.
Yeah.
But 2 nights ago we had the Sunflower Showdown.
Yes, sir.
We'll start off with a little opening debate like we like to do, and it'll kind of tie into this game. There was a bit of an incident that occurred. I don't know how much time in the second half.
It was
of
in the
that
second
game.
half at some point.
Nate Ducati he's 810 Radio over there in Kansas City. He's the voice of Sporting Kansas City soccer team. He's a prominent media member in the Kansas City area. Yeah. He was at the game as a fan.
He's a KU grad.
Okay.
He was there as a fan.
He was there as a fan, and he was seen on national TV taunting Xavier Sneed with a stat sheet. He tweeted a little earlier before. He was kind of active on Twitter that night. He tweeted like Mitch Lightfoot's stats. So I just kind of made the connection that he was like taunting him about Mitch Lightfoot, like his stats. But I don't know. I don't know exactly what his point with the stat sheet was.
Mitch had a
good game, and we'll talk more in depth about this game. But first, I want to get your opinion on Nate's actions.
Okay, I think it's been blown way out of proportion than what it is needed. If you look at it, if you're looking at it as if he is just a fan that's there, I don't really see any harm in that at all. Because that's what fans do. I mean,
he's not just.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but if you're a radio personality, that's when it gets a little bit different. I mean, he is a media member, probably should be held to a higher standard, especially when he's on the front row of a nationally televised game.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's not really a big deal. I mean, he's just waving a stat sheet, so...
It's probably getting blown out of proportion a little bit, but at the same time, he was taunting a player, and he was doing it in such just an angry, like, middle-aged man. Like, I'm such a... he just looked like, we can't say these words on this school project show.
Yeah, but...
He just looked like, just an angry middle-aged man who was so worked up over this college basketball game and decided to taunt a player who is so defenseless in that situation. I look back at that Marcus Smart, back when he, at Texas Tech, do you remember that when he hit a fan or pushed a fan?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And the fan probably said, super racist and terrible things to him, but Marcus Smart was painted as the villain because, we allow these fans to just taunt.
I think that's a different situation.
It is, but I mean, credit to Xavier Sneed for being very poised in that situation because there was papers and he was picking papers up. And,
he was.
A middle-aged man just taunts him, and if it was just a random, Joe Schmo on the street, we'd just say he's one of the classless KU fans.
Oh, coming from the FKU crowd.
That's college students.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing I have. It's like it's kind of a little hypocritical when I see all these K-State fans.
But when he's on a radio show that's talking K-State, KU, and he's a KU fan. I have no problem with him being there and cheering. That
he's there as a fan.
That is what he is. But like to taunt a player like that, you can't do that. And just the way he did it, he just had such an angry look on his face, and he leaned forward and. You're a media member. You're a guy that K-State fans don't like you because you're a KU guy, and you can't be doing that. And I know like 8-10. Like I don't think should get fired or anything. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, some people I just think are blowing it way out of proportion. Yeah. I don't think it's as big of a deal as everybody's making it.
Yeah, it was just a little thing to distract us from a disappointing game. And if do you want to move on to the game? Do you have anything else to say?
Not really.
Okay.
I really don't. I think it's kind of dumb. I don't think it's a big deal. So.
I'm a little mixed feelings. I think that the guy is kind of, just a middle-aged, angry man. But let's move on here to...
Side note, the Marlins man was there.
Yeah, he was in Bramlage a couple years ago for the Sunflower Showdown.
He goes to 3 KU games a year.
Really?
I believe that is what it is. Yeah, he's a KU fan now.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not a KU fan.
Yes, he is.
Well,
the Marlins
I
man.
lost all respect for Marlins man. I thought he
No,
was...
he's sweet. He
respectful.
shouldn't have. He loves coming to Allen Fieldhouse and,
yeah.
you know, getting to witness the greatest atmosphere in all of college basketball. It's the cathedral.
It needs renovated so badly.
How? Carson, it's perfect the way it is. It's spirit. It's the embodiment of grit and college basketball and just...
Yeah, KU just works hard for
It's James Naismith and it's beautiful. Right. Carson, how are you going to deny that it's not one of the top places to play in the country?
Oh, it is. I'm not going to deny that, but it also is a dump and needs renovated.
It's not dump.
Yeah, it is. But K-State played really, really terribly against KU. I did not see that coming. You know, I thought K-State... I didn't know if K-State was going to win. Of course, I predicted them to win because I felt like it.
Yeah, we had a $5 bet going on that. You still hasn't paid me. So.
I'll pay you $5.
I'll
pay you $5.
No big deal, but whatever.
When Barry Brown and Dean Wade combined for 12 points, and Barry Brown's 1 of 8 from the field, just not, don't like our chances. We didn't... we defended well, but we didn't rebound well. We turned the ball over too much. Didn't control the things that we could control in that game. And if you're not going to do that in Allen Fieldhouse, you're gonna get run out. It just reminded me of, Poland teams going into Allen Fieldhouse and getting blown out. Beasley teams going and getting blown out in Allen Fieldhouse. It is what it is. We're still in first place of the conference, and we've got a great chance these last 3 games to hang that banner. But Blake, congratulations on the win. Talk about that game. How excited were you that you won your Super Bowl the season beating first
Super
place?
Bowl?
Yeah.
Our Super Bowl, excuse me. What's your guys' record like the past 20 years against KU?
I don't care.
Not our Super Bowl.
Listen. KU fans that try to claim that it's not a rivalry and they don't care about K-State, they're just totally lying.
No.
And I look at Blake. Blake totally cared about that game.
No, I'm not saying I didn't care about it. They were hyped up. I mean, if you saw the crowd before the game, I think. Yeah. It was very loud, very loud. Some people were saying it was the loudest in Allen Fieldhouse they've heard it since the last Mizzou game. So people were hyped up. It was a big game, but I don't know that I expected a win quite like this. But I was thinking that KU would win. I mean, they don't lose at Allen Fieldhouse to K-State. I mean, it just doesn't happen. Like it's.
Well, they don't lose at Allen Fieldhouse. Period. I don't
think
that's like.
It's not just a K-State thing, but I just thought that and it was one of those games where if they lose, they are done. Yeah. So it was a high stakes game for KU, and I think they really, really had to get a win, and I think that kind of played a little bit of an effect on the game. It hyped up the crowd.
Well, a guy like Quentin Grimes had his best game.
Quentin Grimes comes out and actually hits a few shots, which we're not really used to from our top McDonald's All-American that everybody thought was going to be a 15-point per game scorer. But, I mean, even Mitch Lightfoot comes in and gets a piece of the action for 31 minutes. That's got to be his highest minute log of the entire year, I'd assume.
He dominated Dean Wade. Dean Wade is struggling. I know he's got the foot problem.
He's not healthy, in my opinion. I don't think.
But still, he needs to be more aggressive. He needs to start playing better, and hopefully he can get it turned around here. Maybe get healthy. He's got these 5-day breaks in between our Monday and Saturday games. Mm-hmm. These next 2 weeks to rest up. Hopefully he can practice a little bit. I know he hasn't practiced in a while, but he's got to be better these last 3 games. I'm hoping he can get some momentum.
Which, if he wasn't practicing, why is he playing in a game like West Virginia?
Well, that's a must-win game for K-State.
But they're like the worst team in the Big 12. I don't know. I think that was kind of a dumb idea. But I mean, besides him though, I think the whole Barry Brown Devon Dotson war was interesting to me. Freshman Devon Dotson kind of took it to Barry Brown. I mean, 1 for 8 from the field, and Dotson had 16 points, a couple assists. So that's going to be a battle. I guarantee if they find each other again in the Big 12 tournament at some point, Barry Brown will probably come back with some vengeance.
I really want KU in Kansas City. I really want a rematch because I think that we match up well with them. We just kind of ran into our own heads. We just couldn't mentally get past Allen Fieldhouse, and Barry, it just wasn't his night.
Yeah.
His Big 12 Player of the Year campaign is really on life support. Just because when you go on a national stage like that, on Big Monday, Jay Billis in the house, and you put up those numbers.
Jay Bill.
I don't really like Jay Billis, but
really? I like him.
I used to like, and now I hate, is Fran Fischel.
I hate Fran. Oh
man,
God.
I used to be a huge Fran.
No, but the entire KU fan base, for the most part, hates Fran Fischel. I can't stand him, but that's okay.
Yeah. What was I saying again? Barry Brown.
His
Big 12 Player of the Year. Yeah, he's gonna have to play a last 3 games. We're probably gonna have to win the conference outright for him to kind of have a chance at the Big 12 Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I just don't see Dedrick Lawson winning it if KU doesn't get a share. Like, that's just me. Not when you have a guy like Barry Brown or Jarrett Culver from Texas Tech.
Yeah, I agree. And Culver's kind of gone a little under the radar, I feel like, in the race, just because, he had 28 against KU the other night when they just slapped KU around in Lubbock. So, yeah, he's another guy that kind of gets forgotten about. But I think that we're going to see a 2-way tie atop the Big 12.
With K-State and Tech? Or
Uh,
are you saying KU's going to get in there?
Well, here's the thing. I don't see TCU losing back-to-back road games. So if
You think they're going to
or home games,
they're going to beat one of us?
So they will either beat Texas Tech or K-State, and I do see Texas Tech losing to Iowa State at Ames. So I think it'll be. I think K-State could drop one game, and then it could be a share. It'll be a really tight race. Honestly, there's going to be some clutch games, and KU might go and lose to a team like Oklahoma State out of nowhere.
Or Oklahoma. They go to Norman.
Yeah, to Norman,
which is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's not a bad team, and it's going to be, just one of those games that you kind of sleepwalk through it like KU.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they don't drop one of those games, I think they can get a share, but that's a big if. They've got 3 games, and they'll be ready for the Baylor game at home, but the Oklahoma State-Oklahoma games kind of scare me a little bit, just because it's not... I don't know how to put this. They're lower tier teams in the Big 12. The atmosphere is not going to be crazy. Yeah. It's just going to be one of those sleepwalk games that I hope that they can come out, be prepared and ready to go. So
yeah, well, just last thing I want to say about the KU-K-State game is I'm not too worried about it, just because Texas Tech went into Allen Fieldhouse and got embarrassed. It was kind of a similar game.
A
little more higher
Texas
scoring.
Tech even probably had a worse loss than K-State.
Yeah, and Texas Tech was able to bounce back, and nobody's talking about that game anymore. They're talking about how Texas Tech is playing one of the best teams, playing as one of the best teams in the Big 12. So K-State can control their own destiny here. They should win their last 3 games. That's Baylor at home is kind of tough. Just we just lost to Iowa State at home.
TCU on the road is the game I think you probably have the biggest
TCU
shot
just lost to West Virginia.
I get that, but Carson, I know that, but TCU on the road is not an easy out for any team.
No.
KU went in and struggled there just a couple weeks ago, so I think at any point, really, anybody in the Big 12 can beat anybody. So it's gonna be a brawl.
How I predicted happening going down here is I think K-State's gonna win Baylor and TCU, and I think Texas Tech is gonna win their next 2 or next 3 actually, because they still play. Have they played?
They play.
They played Oklahoma State yet?
No, they play 4 games. So
okay.
They've got
Oklahoma State,
2 home, 2 away.
Texas,
the away
TCU.
Are at TCU and at Iowa State. Their home games, I think, are Oklahoma
Texas,
State and
Oklahoma
Texas.
State, yeah. Okay, so I think going to that last Saturday, Texas Tech is at Iowa State. K-State's at home against Oklahoma. And where's KU? Are they at Oklahoma State?
No, they're at Baylor. They're at home against.
I think KU's going to win out, and I think Texas Tech is going to
too.
win until that Saturday. I think they're going to lose to Iowa State,
Yeah.
and I think K-State's going to beat Oklahoma, which will make us outright champs, and KU and Tech
11-4.
14
or 14-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
That's just how I see it working out.
I just don't see any of these teams making the. I just see the championship of the Big 12 having 5 losses.
Well,
That's my opinion.
Maybe.
I just think it'll be tough for K-State to get through these next 3 without 1 loss.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, they're a senior-led group. Just some of the things that concern me a little bit with K-State. Now, I guess not concern me. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing them lose. Dean Wade's health could play an impact a little bit in these next couple games. So we'll just have to see. It'll be a dogfight. The other thing, Carson, I have to ask you about this K-State KU game.
Okay.
Is what did you think about the 6 points in the paint? Is that what K-State had all night? 6 or something like that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, Mitch Lightfoot. Just like...
Well, Mayween...
he just destroyed
You never know
like,
what he's going to get from him. And Dean Wade, he has not been... Since he went 9 for 9 against Oklahoma State, he has not been the same player.
Preseason Big 12 Player of the Year?
Yeah.
I think injuries have kind of...
And we're still a lot better with Dean Wade on the floor. He still defended pretty well. I know Diedrich ended up with a good stat line, but for the most part, in that first half, really, Dean Wade did a good job defensively, and he spreads the floor for K-State. Even though I know people might look at it like Dean Wade isn't doing much, but he's a big part of our offense. Even if he's not scoring, I think it's just really frustrating to watch him not go to the rim like he used to, and health, But Dean Wade's always kind of been like that. That's why I don't try to just put it on just his health, because he's always been not aggressive. He was not aggressive last year.
Yeah.
We all yelled at him to be more aggressive. So maybe it's the injury. I don't know. But, yeah, K-State, they lost, to Texas A&M and came back and, went on another winning streak. They lost to Iowa State, won 2 games in a row. They looked good looked good against Oklahoma State. I know it's Oklahoma State, but still. I trust this team to come back until they prove me wrong. Baylor could be tough Saturday.
The thing with K-State is when they're making shots, they're very difficult to beat just because of the way they get out and defend. And they have leaders that if they can get out to a lead, it's tough to come back on K-State. So if they are shooting the ball well, they're tough to defend. They're tough to beat, but if they're not, I think anybody can beat them. That goes with the whole Big 12. I mean, same with KU. A lot of these teams are kind of the same. They don't have a whole lot of offensive firepower, but they can defend. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to say the least. I think we can move on though.
So real quick, you're predicting?
I'm predicting KU and K-State.
Three-way tie.
Tie.
Texas Tech 2, right? You think they're gonna lose 2?
I think Texas Tech will lose 2.
Wow. Okay, so K-State and KU will tie. God, that would make me so sad if KU wins the title. I'm predicting K-State outright. Just because I feel like it, and that is what I'm going to do.
That's what you're praying happens.
Dude, it's so possible, though.
It's possible. I'm not saying it's not. I could be looking at it a little biasly as a KU fan, too, but this is what I've said is going to happen all year. 5-win team will win the Big 12 is what I think. So, or 5-loss. Yeah. Sorry. 5-win wouldn't get it done. Yeah. But I think that'll be KU and K-State.
Okay.
So.
Let's just talk a little bit about anything in the whole college basketball world. We're going to talk about, we have a question about Zion, but, feel free to talk about Duke. They just lost to Virginia Tech. They beat Syracuse on Saturday without Zion. Yeah. They looked okay doing that. Yeah,
Duke is still Duke, but without Zion, they're a different team. I don't know if without Zion, they are a national championship contender. I think they're still a good team. You've still got 2 of the top 3 recruits in the country that are freshmen, but really at this point in the season aren't really freshmen anymore. And then, they've got some guys that can do some things outside of those guys, but I just think without Zion Williamson, it's a different team. He just does so much for them. He can defend any position pretty much. He can run the floor. He can rebound. I mean, he's just an animal.
Yeah. They need him back, and I don't know. Hopefully he can play in their Saturday game. He's day to day. I don't know. How much longer he's going to be out. But we're going to talk about Zion because we got a question about him.
Yeah, and the other thing is, Duke is vulnerable for a one seed right now. I mean, especially if they go into the tournament and people don't really know what the health is of Zion. I mean, because I mean, they lost again. What was it last night? So
they got 4 losses now.
Yeah, and really Kentucky's they've been playing really well. I think they're 1 seed in my opinion right now.
Yeah.
Just because some of the wins they've had recently. I mean, so I mean, I guess we could jump into that if you want. I mean, do you have anything else you want to say about really the whole landscape of college basketball? I think it's stayed for the most part. Gonzaga's back atop, the whole thing, but
there's a lot of good teams. I think it's going to be a great.
I think it's going to be a great March.
That one through that top 10 that I'm looking at right now is really solid. Michigan State and North Carolina are really good, and Houston's kind of a scary mid-major team. Michigan's good too. There's a lot of good teams, but
and a team that has been previously in the season, Tennessee. I mean, I think they were ranked as high as 1.
They were 1 because they won like 21 straight games.
Yeah, and then they've lost a couple.
Did you see that? Did you see that game? Shoot, I can't even remember who they played now. Who they lose to? LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like that foul on Grant Williams.
Yeah, I watched that.
What do you think about that game?
It was such a good game. I did watch the entire second half of that, and for it to end on a foul, just kind of like.
I know, I hate that, but it was the right call.
It was the right call. Like it was the right call. And you just hate to see it be decided right there, though. You've got 2 teams going at each other, and for it to get decided on, a guy running in, and he probably shouldn't have been hustling after that loose ball, and just, I don't know.
And I haven't watched so much Tennessee basketball just because, I don't watch SEC basketball all the time, but I was impressed with Tennessee, actually. I know they ended up losing the game. But I thought Grant Williams had
and LSU too.
Well, yeah, obviously LSU.
I mean, they did play well. I think the SEC's got some teams that can make a push in March. Mainly, I think Kentucky is playing really, really well right now.
Yeah.
So as much as
it's gonna be really sad when K-State beats Kentucky in the Sweet 16 this year. Yeah. That was the latest bracketology. Was K-State is a 4 in the Midwest and Kentucky is the 1.
Carson, I'd love to see it, but
that'd be incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else? We have some questions about college basketball, so we'll come back. So you just want to go on to NBA?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Because football's over, people. I know we wrapped up the Super Bowl in our last episode, but football's over. We'll have a few off-season
we don't cover AAF here.
No.
I mean,
the Alliance.
I haven't watched enough.
No, it's the quarterback play is just bad. It's too bad for me to watch. But NBA, I'm wearing my LeBron jersey today, just because we gotta break out a new jersey every episode. But I got some things to say about LeBron. If we want to start.
Stephen A. went at him yesterday. I don't know if you saw that. He said that from this point on, we can no longer call LeBron James the best player in the NBA.
Man,
which whew.
I'm the biggest LeBron fan.
Yeah.
In the county, but.
Okay.
But I've kind of been disappointed in LeBron, and not just his play, but just his comments, press conferences just kind of get under my skin a little bit, and some of his, and obviously the trade deadline drama, could have been quieter about it. That really hurts your chemistry when you got a team pushing for the playoffs and you're trying to trade all of your young core and talented guys. Kyle Kuzma's a talented guy. And now he's just a trading piece for LeBron.
Yeah.
I still don't think they're done. They played well against Houston. They got a win against Houston. LeBron played well since that game. They really haven't looked good. And,
I'm gonna come out and make a statement that the Lakers. I have switched my position on this. They will not make the playoffs.
Really? I don't see it, Blake.
They're 3-7 in their last games. They're 3 games back off of the 8th spot, and there's only 20-some games left to play. It's under 25.
Yeah, it's something like that.
So, I mean, and they're going to have to gain 3 spots. Now, I realize the team they're chasing right now, they've got the T-Wolves, the Kings, and the Spurs ahead of them, which all those teams are playing better than them right now. Except for maybe the Spurs. They haven't looked that great. But there's so much. I mean, LeBron, he's been poking at the team and calling people out when, you've seen a lot of videos of him recently just kind of not playing defense, not really hustling after anything, and just, so it might be a little hypocrisy there. I don't know. And here's the other thing. If the Lakers do squeak in the playoffs and make the 8th seed, they're going to get blown out by the Warriors in 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give them 6 games. So I don't really know if that even makes a difference if they do make the playoffs.
I still think that we got a winning streak coming for the Lakers. I think LeBron. I still trust him. I'm still a LeBron fan. He's still the best player on the planet in my eyes. He's making Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
Which is super hype. But I still think that the Lakers are going to make the playoffs. At least that's what I'm predicting for now. But yeah, it's not looking good right now for LeBron. It's the first negative thing I've said about LeBron in a long, long time.
First year in the West and he can't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's a bad look.
It is, but anything else NBA wise that we want to touch on here? The Eastern Conference is pretty good this year. I mean, the top.
Yeah, honestly,
the top 5
we've kind of seen a shift. I mean, not necessarily to say that the East is better than the West, but it's just been this year. I mean, for the years past, they've been saying, "Oh, the Eastern Conference is so bad," but I think in the East, you're starting to see a lot of young groups like the Celtics, like this, 76ers, and even to some extent the Pacers, which they're playing well without Victor Oladipo.
Yeah.
Which makes you wonder, what could they be doing with him? So, I mean, but the Bucks right now they've got the best record in the NBA. They're a really good team.
Are the Bucks your pick to get out of the East? I just still look at the Celtics. I know they haven't been playing well.
They've been struggling.
I just have a feeling that the Celtics are going to turn it on in the playoffs. But yeah, I like the Bucks.
They could. Yeah, the Bucks are good, and Giannis is. He's another, like, if he had a jump shot, he'd be the best player in the NBA by far.
Yeah, and hopefully he can. He's still a young
If
player.
he figures out how to shoot a 3-point shot, he might be better than Jordan, and that's not a joke.
Yeah, maybe.
That's. But so yeah, the East is interesting. Between the Bucks, Raptors, 76ers, and Celtics, I just don't see a Pacers team without Victor Oladipo getting a chance to play in the conference finals. So,
I don't either.
I mean,
but like hold that 3 or 4 spot, they probably might.
Who knows? It's I like the NBA playoffs.
I do too.
I know some people aren't fond of it, but I think it could be an interesting race. Going to the West, I mean, you've got 3 teams really at the top of it that are playing really, really well, which the Warriors, Nuggets, Thunder, Paul George is playing out of his mind. He's playing like an MVP.
Is he going to be MVP?
I don't know. I love Paul George.
Yeah, I do too.
I like what he does for the Thunder, and also Russell Westbrook is kind of taking a different role this year to help Paul George be what he can be. I think that's helped the Thunder out a lot this year, and that's why they're gonna be probably a 3 seed. I mean, I don't see them catching up to the Nuggets, but
it was cool to see Paul George, after all the Lakers drama this summer, to make a promise to Oklahoma City and him and Westbrook. And big credit to Westbrook. He's I regard him as a more selfish player in the past, not just a stat sheet filler. But when they were partying with Paul George this summer when he stayed, he promised, those two kind of made a promise to each other, and so far they're delivering. The Thunder are playing really good. So, as much as I would love to see, I love my super teams, and I love everybody going to a big market like Lakers or New York. I know we talked last time about New York.
I'd still love to see Kevin Durant and Kyrie team up.
Oh yeah, no,
that'd be sweet.
And Knicks won back-to-back games. They need to stop winning because I want Zion Williamson on that team.
Yes,
like 100%.
Zion, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant.
Oh my goodness.
Lord have mercy.
That would be so good.
That'd be sweet.
But it's fun to see a team like the Thunder, have stars on their team, but a small market team.
And the team a lot of people don't talk about is the Nuggets.
Yeah.
But they got some dudes, man.
They do.
They can play.
Jokic is
he is next level. Him and Embiid, I think, are two of the best young players in the league at that center position. I mean, so, and, you know, you got the Trailblazers and the Rockets rounding out the top 5 in the West. The Rockets, who knows? I just don't think you can win a whole lot of...
I do not like James Harden.
Yeah, I mean, with them getting Chris Paul back, that'll definitely help.
Yeah.
But the style of play that they were doing before Chris Paul, I was just like, there's no way that they can win a playoff game doing this. But who knows? They could make a run and, you know, knock a team off here or there, but it'll be an interesting playoffs.
Hey, I want to ask you about, did you see when DeMarcus Cousins threw that shoe?
Yeah, that was horrible.
That was such a dumb tag.
That was so stupid.
He just was moving it out of his way.
That was terrible.
I could not believe that. Like, somebody was talking about it, like, oh, he threw a shoe into the crowd, and I'm like,
no.
I was thinking he was like,
he didn't want to roll his ankle. He just tossed it off to the side. Ridiculous. That was terrible. Oh, that's horrible officiating.
It was. All right. Anything else about NBA?
I don't really have anything else to talk about.
We got a few questions here. We might just spin off and talk about our own things here. I want to talk about March Madness because I don't know how many shows. You know, I don't know what we're gonna do going forward, but I want to talk a little March Madness. We got a flurry of questions from Nate Grosslin. He asked this one a while ago, and he asked it for like Cats with Carson. That's what I sent it to, but who's the GOAT? Tom Brady or Michael Jordan? That was his question.
Get out of here.
I think he was confused, so we'll answer it on this show. I'm just gonna say, like, you know, in terms of like what they meant for the sport, like who is better, and I still think I would say Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
You're not gonna get in a disagreement with me there.
No, I think Michael Jordan was beloved in his sport.
Yeah, and also
Tom Brady isn't.
I think as a player, he's better in his sport than Brady.
Yeah, I'm going Michael Jordan. I know everybody thinks I don't hate. I like Michael Jordan, just because I'm a LeBron fanboy. Everybody thinks I don't like Michael Jordan. I like Michael Jordan, so that is my answer to that question. Then Nate also asked about Zion Williamson. Should he sit or should he play? But, like, I have no idea.
I think you should play.
You think? I think you should too.
I think if you're committing yourself to a college program and you go tell coach that you're going to be there and play for them, I think that if you can come back from injury, you play. And here's the other thing. I'm sure he wants to play.
Well, all signs are pointing that he does. Like, all the quotes we've heard from him and Coach K since his injuries, he's come back. If
you're playing college basketball, odds are you love to play basketball and you don't want to sit on the bench. And the other thing is people are like, oh, what about the money? Oh, okay.
He's still going to make
This guy's going to make money either way. Okay? Yeah. And
he's going to be more of an icon if he goes and wins
the other thing, exactly. And the other thing is it's like, I mean, these people saying that, I feel like they're not on a team of any sort. Like, is he really going to come in and tell the team that if he's playing with, they could win a national championship? Oh, yeah. Sorry guys, I got to look out for myself. As a player, I don't think...
People have done that.
I get that, but I don't think I would be able to do that as a player. Just because... And the other thing, Zion Williamson's a competitive guy. Like, he wants to go out and win games. I doubt he wants to be sitting on a bench.
Well, and he is coming back. Like, we're not talking bad on Zion here, because I think Zion is coming back.
I think he is.
They've said that multiple times that he is. But I absolutely think he should play. I mean, you go to Duke University and form, a super team with Cam Reddish and
you go to play basketball too.
But you go to play in March Madness. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is people. The NBA is such a dream, but a dream for those college kids is, or for those young players is to go and play in March Madness. The greatest sporting event on planet Earth.
And he
wants to do that.
He's not a 35-year-old NBA player that's just trying to wait to the playoffs to turn it on. He's an 18-year-old kid that wants to play basketball.
Yeah. And I don't know what his parents financially are. There's some cases where their parents are sick or need money or and in that case you understand. You got children or whatnot. You see that. You've seen that at K-State with people having to leave early just because they got family and they don't want to on the football side we see that a lot. But Zion, I don't know about that with Zion Williamson. So he just needs to go play basketball and he's already the biggest. he's already one of the biggest basketball names on the planet right now.
Yeah, he's not even in the NBA.
Yeah, he's not even in the NBA, so he's going to go try to add to his legacy, and if Duke makes a run into the Final Four, if he has highlight dunks in the national championship game, that's just going to add to his legacy and make him, I think besides the money, I think an important thing for professional athletes is just fame and, how much of a household name you are. I talk about it with Kyler Murray. Like, he's not going to be famous playing baseball, but he's going to be, he's going to be more famous, which is going to lead to more opportunities for money in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, that's not... Okay, so Nate, we're going to go on to another question from him. Or actually, we'll save this one for last. Okay. Let's go to one here from Zach Heble. He asked about potential landing spots for Antonio Brown. I want to start with, I want him to go to the Green Bay Packers.
I was just going to say that.
Okay.
To me,
that's where I want him to go.
That's where I want. And if Le'Veon Bell doesn't go there, that's where I want both of those guys to go. But I just think, you could continue, but I just think Aaron Rodgers and Antonio Brown would be awesome.
That would be awesome, and Aaron Rodgers and Le'Veon Bell would be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, either way, if they could get one of those guys, it would be sweet.
The Packers need a little pick me up for their organization, and to get one of those guys would be awesome. I'd love to see Antonio Brown there, just because the Packers, I feel like they've never really had a star there in a long while.
Yeah.
Obviously Aaron Rodgers is a star, but Jordy maybe, but a real big name player to go there and be kind of a face of the franchise.
Yeah. Devontae Adams and Antonio Brown probably makes the best receiver duo in the league.
That would be really, really fun. See what Aaron Rodgers could do with those guys.
Yeah, and the other thing with Antonio Brown, though, some people, if I was the GM, I'd be a little hesitant with the guy now.
I know.
I guarantee you he's going to want a new contract wherever he goes. And the thing is right now he's just been a locker room guy
There's a lot of divas and professional.
I get that, but man... the way I've been seeing him act over the past couple of, months now. Yeah. It's a little questionable.
It's going to be a big offseason for the Steelers. It'll be interesting to see how that all pans out.
Because the big three is just kind of dismantled. It just fell apart.
It is sad to see. Okay, I think this is going to be our last question. We'll probably talk about it for a little bit. We can spin this off in any way we want. Nate kind of talks about the NCAA tournament. Our thoughts on it, and kind of what do we think our one seeds are going to be, maybe Final Four predictions. Let's just talk about the NCAA tournament here. I'll start with my one seeds right now, and who I think it's going to end up being is Gonzaga, Virginia, Duke, and Kentucky. That's the easy answer right there.
That's top 4 teams right now. But I can't say I disagree with you.
I would have Virginia as my overall number 1 seed, and obviously things can change towards the end of the season. If Duke wins a conference championship, in tournament championship, things might change because they're Duke, and if Zion comes back and starts playing well, they'll probably get the number 1 seed. But right now, I give it to Virginia. They've been, the most consistent team. Only 2 losses are to Duke, and Duke just has kind of piled up some worse losses than Virginia has. So.
Carson, I agree with you for the most part. The only team that I think may be able to slide in is possibly in North Carolina. They're sitting at 5 right now. So if they go and beat Duke again, I think that possibly that they could get that spot, which they could both make it, but also I think Tennessee's could make a push. So it's going to be you might see Kentucky make it in either Duke or North Carolina. That's my opinion. I think one of those teams out of the ACC will get the 1 seed. But for the most part, I agree with you. I think it'll probably be Gonzaga, Virginia, Duke, Kentucky. If Tennessee wins out, they might make a case because they will have to beat Kentucky to win out. So who knows? But I think the way Kentucky's playing right now, that they probably deserve to be a 1 seed.
Yeah,
they've played really well.
They've played themselves into a 1 seed. And I'm looking at that 1 through 2 line where the 1 seeds are already named, and then North Carolina, Michigan State, Tennessee, and Michigan probably.
Yeah.
And 3 of those, North Carolina, Michigan State, and Tennessee, really, those 3 can make a push for 1 seed. It's going to be a fun March. What seed do you think KU's going to end up getting? Say KU...
A 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Yeah.
You think they go to 3? just seems high to me now.
I get that.
I mean, unless they win the conference tournament and stuff, like.
Some of the KU fans are upset about, the thought of a 4 seed, which to me that's just kind of like, all right, guys. I mean,
world problems, man. That's the definition of that.
Well, no, I get that, and they just think that we should be a 3 seed no matter what, and I just kind of disagree with that. Like I could understand going both ways, but the thing is, to me, like, yeah, they've beaten some teams in the conference of late that are impressive wins. I mean, K-State being one, but that's a home game. They can't win on the road.
No.
And the other thing is, a lot of these marquee wins that they got at the beginning of the year, it's a totally different team.
But that's what's going to play. That's going to be a big advantage for KU, is because the committee's going to look at their overall resume.
Yeah.
Whether they should or whether they
No, I get that, but I also think
and those wins are going to be huge for them.
Yeah, but if it's KU matched up against another team and this other team has all their big wins down the last stretch of the year.
Yeah. Well, KU's probably still gonna get the nod because of KU, Blake. I know you don't think.
But all their wins came early in the year, so that's one of the things that kind of make me a little nervous. But I think they'll be a 3-4. What about K-State?
I would say the same. I mean, right now we were 4 in the Midwest region in a CBS bracket. I know Jill already had us like a 7 like a week ago, but we'll be a 4.
I think that's a little.
If K-State, the only way they get to a 3 is if they win out and win a conference tournament. That's the only way I see them getting to a 3, because they'd be at 7 losses. Like, that's a 3 seed.
Yeah.
In my mind, K-State in 2010 was a 2 seed when we went to the Elite Eight with 7 losses. So like 7 losses, I think if we win the conference tournament, that's where we could get to a 3 seed. But right now we're squarely at a 4 seed.
That's what I'm saying with KU. I mean, they're a 7-loss team. I think that's how they'll finish the year. I personally think that they'll win out. I don't know that they'll win the Big 12 tournament, but I don't think you can put a whole lot of stock into a tournament for, some of these. Like, Big 12 tournament, anybody can beat anybody. I think. Yeah. So, I think they'll be a 3. Okay. If we get lucky. I think they'll be a 3 if they win out. If they lose a couple, they could drop back to
you going to be making another trip to the Final Four this year for KU?
Probably not. I've talked about this on Hawks with Heble. I just think this team, they're not built for a tournament run. Their guards don't shoot the 3-ball well, which doesn't necessarily help you in the tournament. Traditionally, a good big and some guards that can shoot really are what can help give you a run in the NCAA tournament. So we'll see. I hope, Carson, but I don't really.
I'm hoping that.
And is Gerald Vick ever gonna come back? There's so many question marks with this team. It's just been a nightmare from the beginning. A team that people thought was gonna be South's best team, most talented, chance of being, easily one of the top teams in the country, being a 1 seed. It's just kind of falling apart with losing like 4 guys.
Now the FBI is coming too, so kind of a scary time to be a KU fan right now.
FBI is not going to do nothing.
I'm excited about March. I think K-State is built for a tournament run. Obviously they're going to run into the 1 or the 2 seed in the Sweet 16. That's going to be tough, but I think K-State's going to get to the second weekend. I think they'll, that should be obviously the goal. And if K-State can win the conference championship and get to the Sweet 16, that's all I can really ask for. And whatever after that is icing on the cake. We'll see how K-State's able to bounce back, against Baylor and finish the season strong.
I'm worried about KU. I think they could be one of those teams that gets bounced early, which that's always terrible. As like when you're watching March Madness, like. If your team's not still in it, it's just it's still fun, but it's just like.
I noticed that last year too when K-State was in the Elite Eight. Like once they won and got to the second weekend, and I had like a whole week.
It's almost just so much more fun. Yeah. Like the thing when we went to the Final Four is like. When KU lost that first night to a Villanova team that could have beaten an NBA team that night. It's just like. When you go to the championship, it's like, oh, this is cool, but like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, my team, you know, they're not there. Like I think that's the same thing for the whole tournament. So
I love March Madness.
it's the best tournament in all sports.
We don't have our spring break on March Madness this year though. We're gonna have to be getting out. If K-State plays during school,
normally we're able to go. My family go follow the games during spring break, but
yeah.
The Big 12 tournament.
If K-State goes to the Final Four,
which Byers,
if that happens, I'm
if KU and K-State somehow find each other in the Big 12 championship
in Kansas City,
let's go.
We're total. Yes,
seriously,
absolutely
for real. I was looking at the tickets earlier today. They're not that bad.
Even like a full day,
if you get all sessions,
wow, it's like $250.
Yeah, that's not that bad. Honestly, for all the games, every single
it's
game.
happening. We'll if K-State and KU are in the Big 12 championship, and maybe who knows, maybe we'll even go earlier than that.
We'll see.
We're taking Heble Byers on the road. We'll maybe have some podcasts from the car right up there in Kansas City, maybe Power and Light before the game, because we're totally making the trip up there. Really, I'm really excited for March Madness. But
it's the best time of the year.
Let's wrap this episode up.
Yes, sir.
Blake, anything you gotta say to the people before we leave here? We don't really know if you know.
Yeah, we don't know a timetable for return.
I'm gonna say that the video portion is probably over with.
Probably.
Our project, we're submitting this to the Imagine Media Festival.
Yes.
That's gonna be awesome.
Shout out.
Check us out
if they're watching that, let's get us this first place.
Let's get us that pixel.
We want a pixel.
So the video portion's gonna be done, but once March Madness gets going, you know, if K-State and KU are playing in the Big 12 tournament, we might hop on, you know, and go on the podcast. And
stay tuned for the Cats with Carson and the Hawks with Heble.
Yeah.
There might be a couple of those dropping here and there, and then, you know, our main show, we could have podcasts here and there. We don't know.
We don't know.
We'll see.
But yeah, this is the last time you're probably gonna see our faces.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a real sad, but we had a lot of fun here in these 3 episodes where we've been doing the video and the audio, wherever you guys want to listen. Totally up to you. Keep on the lookout. Keep retweeting our stuff. Keep following on the website. Whatever you want to do. Blake, final thoughts? Ready to go?
No, just thanks for coming on.
Yeah, we'll see you guys when we see ya. Thanks for watching. And yeah,
peace.
Peace.